from the local station, the 10 o'clock news starts now.
Widespread showers making their way past the first coast. Rain totals just got a little high as 1 inch here locally. Good evening to you. The rain has been blanketing the area for much of the evening. This is a live look through our mobile newsroom. Right now, our photographer, Jim McCanny, is on the roadways driving that vehicle. Jim, you've been out there all day. The rain was coming down pretty hard earlier. How is it now?
Well, Janice, as you can see, I'm driving down Butler Boulevard westbound, and the rain has just recently let up, but the roadways are still pretty slippery, still pretty wet, so any late night drivers out there should be cautious.
All right, thank you, Jim. And now we turn things over to Weather Authority meteorologist Danielle Giuliano, who's been tracking this all day. It's been a busy day for you, Danielle.
It's been a busy day and a wet day, and Jim said it perfectly. It is starting to let up just a little bit, but there is still some water on the roadways, so make sure you drive with caution this evening. And again, just some light sprinkles out there if you are heading out on the roadways. Most of the heavy rainfall has shifted east. It's moved offshore. It's out of the way, and we're going to start drying things out as we head through tonight. Just some light showers keeping their way through. Most of this not even reaching the ground, and just a little misty out there. Here's a look at downtown right now. Riverside, Camera, Jacksonville, 60 degrees. Arlington, 60 degrees. NAS Jax, you're looking at 63 degrees. Winds calm anywhere from the south-southeast. 3 to 5 miles per hour, but a pretty calm night as we head through the rest of this evening, setting us up for a drier President's Day. Temperatures across the board: 60 degrees in Jacksonville, 60 degrees in St. Augustine, 59 degrees in Palatka, 55 degrees in Brunswick, and 54 degrees in Waycross. And as you head throughout the rest of your evening, those temperatures will continue to drop only into the mid to upper 50s for tonight. For tomorrow, we're on that warming trend right again, back up into the 70s. I'm going to have a detailed look, though, at your holiday forecast coming up in just a few minutes. James.
Thanks, Danielle. Folks, stay ahead of storms with Futurecast on the Weather Authority app. Select the live radar, click Futurecast layer, find out if the rain is going where you are. All you have to do is search WJXT for the free app in your Apple or Android store. And rainfall also impacted the Daytona 500. It's being pushed back until tomorrow. This is the first time this has happened since 2012. There were 2 delays that lasted more than 3 hours. The race is scheduled to start again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Before the race was delayed, patriotism was running high. President Trump captured the attention of everyone in attendance and got the 62nd annual event underway. Take a listen.
Daytona International Speedway, we love our country, and it's truly an honor to be with all of you at the great American race. Gentlemen, start your engines.
And he called all racing fans in attendance patriots and said, no matter who wins the race, what matters most is God, family, and country. Lauren Cervantes has more on the reaction to the president's message.
President Donald Trump was the Grand Marshal at the Daytona 500, becoming the second ever sitting president to attend the race.
My fellow race fans,
President Donald Trump addressing racegoers as the Grand Marshal for the Daytona 500.
there is no greater thrill than to join you at the World Center of Racing.
An event that drew large numbers. Some say they were there for the race and others for the president. One racegoer who says he's been coming every year since he was little says this year's crowd was notable.
I think it's bigger. I think more enthusiasm. Yes, it's absolutely remarkable. Yes. Trump is very popular.
Special, you know, it's not every day you see Air Force One fly in.
The president touched down at the Daytona Beach International Airport and made his way to the track, even taking a lap in his limousine. President Trump took the opportunity to recognize veterans and those serving in the military.
To every service member and veteran here today, as Commander-in-Chief of the greatest fighting force on the planet, a force that just spent $2.5 trillion on rebuilding our military, I want to thank you for your service.
Fans say the big race is a day for family and friends, and with the president in attendance, added patriotism.
Family, God, country, it's all, it doesn't get better.
He says, God bless America and God bless the country.
And the race might have been postponed, but that doesn't mean there weren't any highlights. We'll have more on what unfolded during the race coming up in our sports zone at 10:30. And the search for 22-year-old Daniel Cruz continues tonight. He's accused of abducting a 21-year-old woman at gunpoint overnight. She was found safe hours later. News4JAX reporter Allison Henning joins us live tonight. Allison, police are still asking for the community to come forward with information about where he could be.
Janice, absolutely. They want people to call them with that information. You can either call JSO or Crime Stoppers. We do know Cruz was very active on social media today, even after police posted this picture of him on Facebook and other social media platforms saying he is wanted as a suspect in this case. Police have been searching for this man since early Sunday morning. This is 22-year-old Daniel Cruz. He's accused in what police are calling a domestic-related abduction. Throughout the day Sunday, several people sent this Facebook Live video to News4JAX showing Cruz in the back of a car calling what happened a misunderstanding and claiming he's innocent. The Facebook Live went on for nearly an hour.
I'm not no fugitive, man. I'm a fugitive. You're not a fugitive if you ain't do nothing.
Police were called to an area near Acme Street and Atlantic Boulevard after they say Cruz allegedly forced his way into a home, held a 21-year-old woman at gunpoint before dragging her out of the house by her hair and taking off. She was found safe around 9:30 Sunday morning.
Do I look like a type of that just pull up to a field and be like, hey, get in the car, come on, let's go, now.
We looked into Cruz's criminal history and found he had an out-of-county warrant for burglary in 2019. He was found guilty for stealing in 2017. And ahead at 11 o'clock, we talk with our News4JAX crime and safety expert, Ken Jefferson, about Cruz's choice to share that video on social media. That's all new ahead at 11 o'clock. Reporting live tonight, Allison Henning, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Allison. An overnight shooting in Riverside leaves one person dead in the road. There was police crime tape surrounding the Burger King off King Street. Shots rang out around 2 a.m. Friends of the person that was shot, they told us that a fight broke out and it turned deadly. Homicide detectives are interviewing witnesses, and JSO is asking anyone who may have any information about what happened to please contact Crime Stoppers. 3 people are recovering after a shooting happened at a restaurant owned by a reality TV star. Police say a man went inside the Old Lady Gang restaurant in East Point, Georgia, and shot someone. 2 bystanders were also hit. All 3 victims are expected to be okay. The Old Lady Gang restaurants are owned by singer and Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kandi Burruss and her husband, Todd Tucker. Shooting happened on Valentine's Day. Burruss posted a picture on Instagram saying, quote, an evening that was meant to celebrate love unfortunately turned into something quite different. Our prayers and thoughts go out to the individuals that were harmed or in any way negatively impacted. And it's officially been 1 year since a local man was killed in a drive-by shooting. And today, Ronald Jenkins' mother is pleading for the murder to be solved. He was killed on Ken Knight Drive by the Ribault River. His mother says she woke up from a dream that morning and she had a strong feeling that something bad was going to happen.
In the dream, it said that warning comes before destruction. And the next thing I heard is that Ronald's dead. So when my daughter called me, I knew. When I got to the hospital and met the chaplain, I knew. When the doctor came in, I knew.
After the shooting, police say that a black sedan with 2 men inside stopped by the person's body and then drove away. No arrests have been made in the case. Car lovers will have to wait until next year to check out their favorite models from the Jacksonville International Auto Show. The annual event just wrapped up a couple of hours ago. It was hosted at the Prime Osborne Convention Center in downtown Jacksonville. Throughout the weekend, hundreds of shiny new cars were on display with anything for everyone, any style and budget. Hundreds of Americans are relieved to be on their way home after they were quarantined on a cruise ship in Japan because of coronavirus. But what happens next? Coming up, we'll tell you the challenges these people will face. Global officials are still trying to contain the virus. And here is a look at our drive cam. It looks like it's finally starting to dry out in Northeast Florida, but we really had some rain earlier today. Weather Authority meteorologist Danielle Giuliano will talk more about it coming up. And Hundreds of Americans are heading back home. They were quarantined on a cruise ship because of coronavirus. The fears of the outbreak left thousands of people stranded. They were on board the Diamond Princess in Japan for weeks. You see it right here behind me. However, things won't be completely back to normal once they're home. David Daniel reports the evacuees are facing a mandatory quarantine once they reach the United States.
The buses are starting to line up.
Americans aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship are on their way back to the U.S. Docked off the Japanese port city of Yokohama since February 3rd, thousands of passengers remained on board as health officials confirmed more than 350 cases of coronavirus, the largest concentration of cases outside mainland China.
They are here to take us away.
From the balconies of their cabins, passengers watched as teams in full-body suits boarded the ship to escort them off one by one.
Sometime after 6 is when you're going to start disembarking from this.
Some 400 Americans loaded into buses destined for Tokyo, where 2 planes chartered by the U.S. government waited to bring them home. While the Diamond Princess cruise ship is finally behind them, it's not the end of the journey for those Americans headed home. Both flights are destined for U.S. Air Force bases, one in California, the other in Texas. Once they arrive, passengers face a mandatory 2-week quarantine.
Are we for sure going to be quarantined for 14 days?
Yes.
I didn't like that answer.
The Department of Health and Human Services, along with the CDC, will monitor evacuees for symptoms of coronavirus. Anyone who tests positive or exhibits symptoms will be transferred for further evaluation and treatment. David Daniel, Channel 4, the local station.
46 Americans are among the more than 350 confirmed corona cases aboard the Diamond Princess. Those Americans or anyone who shows symptoms will not be allowed to take the United States flights back home. They will remain in Japanese hospitals for treatment. More than 1,100 former prosecutors and Department of Justice officials are calling for Attorney General Bill Barr to resign. They're saying Barr's actions in doing the president's bidding have damaged the DOJ's reputation. This comes after career prosecutors withdrew from Roger Stone's case because Barr overruled their sentencing. Barr has not commented on whether he intends to step down as Attorney General. Democratic candidate Pete Buttigieg is responding to recent remarks by radio host Rush Limbaugh. Last week, Limbaugh said, quote, despite all the great progress and despite all the great wokeness and despite all the great ground that's been covered, America's still not ready to elect a gay guy kissing his husband on the debate stage president. They have to be saying this, don't they?
I love my husband. I'm faithful to my husband. On stage, we usually just go for a hug, but I love him very much. And I'm not going to take lectures on family values from the likes of Rush Limbaugh.
All right. President Trump awarded Limbaugh the Medal of Freedom earlier this month. When asked about Limbaugh's comments, the president says Buttigieg's sexuality doesn't seem to be hurting his campaign very much, and he would not be opposed to a member of the LGBTQ community serving as president. Elton John says he's going through a battle with a serious illness. The British singer announced that he was diagnosed with walking pneumonia while on tour in New Zealand.
Right now,
he is currently on tour. John says he gave his most recent performance everything he had, but he was, quote, deeply upset and sorry for losing his voice. John is on his final world tour, known as Farewell Yellow Brick Road. He is scheduled to play 2 more concerts in New Zealand, followed by shows in Australia.
To get the most accurate, reliable forecast, our 5 powerful radar sweeps give you 5 times more coverage. Channel 4 is the weather authority.
Well, we made it through most of that heavy rainfall. It's continued to push off to the east offshore, leaving us just some light showers as we head throughout this evening here, making their way through the Jacksonville area, Duval County, pushing up to the east past Orange Park and making its way to around 295 there around the bend. But overall, light showers, most of us on the drier side, and we're going to continue on that drying trend as we head through tonight. Let's take you hour by hour. We head into tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Again, if you're along coast, you're mostly on the drier side, but you are seeing some of that cloud cover. Most of the showers over by Lake City, positioned off to our west over in southeast Georgia up by Wake Waycross. Then you head into 9 a.m. A little bit of cloud cover, but a lot of us drying out over the morning hours. You head into the afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Again, most of the showers staying off to our west. Then we head into Monday evening, 8:30 p.m. You start to see a little bit of clearing in the skies. Then you head into your Tuesday, and then you head into Tuesday afternoon around 12 p.m. You stay dry through the morning and through the lunch hour, but showers do develop and move north as you head throughout the evening. This is around 5 p.m. for dinner time on Tuesday. So this evening, we just have some lingering showers continuing to make their way through. This overnight, we're going to be drying out with mostly cloudy skies. And tomorrow, we'll be waking up on your President's Day to mild temperatures. And again, a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. 60 degrees out there right now. Winds are calm in the Riverside area. And again, a gorgeous end to our night after all the rainfall we saw earlier today. Visibility low in some locations, St. Augustine, 8 miles per hour, but up in southeast Georgia, Brunswick, 4 miles of visibility, Waycross, 1.5 miles of visibility. So some fog is likely to develop overnight, light patchy fog. Just keep that in mind as you wake up early Monday morning. Winds are dying down a bit too, only 7 miles per hour at Jacksonville Beach, 9 miles per hour in St. Augustine, 6 miles per hour in Brunswick there. So again, our breezy conditions have died down just a little bit as we head into this evening as well. 60 degrees right now in Jacksonville, 60 degrees in St. Augustine, 59 degrees in Palatka. Lake City, your temperatures are currently sitting at 55 degrees in Brunswick, and 54 degrees in Waycross. Overnight lows in Jacksonville only dropping into the upper 50s, 58 degrees. We're going to be drying out with mostly cloudy skies through those overnight hours. And as you wake up in the morning, it's 60 degrees now, but it will be in the upper 50s by 6 a.m. and by 8 a.m. By 10 a.m., those temperatures will already be in the lower 60s with just a slight chance of a shower. But again, most of us will stay on the drier side for your President's Day. So 20% chance of showers tomorrow, 72 degrees for your high. Tuesday, 80 degrees. Again, another warm day on tap with a 30% chance of those showers mainly in the evening. And then Wednesday, you're looking at a high around 79 degrees. Temperatures warm up before our frontal system pushes through by Thursday, bringing increased showers and storms Wednesday into Thursday, and we dry out by next weekend. Remember, you can always get updates on the new Weather Authority app and online, news4jax.com.
Thank you, Danielle. It's Sunday night, and that means it's almost time for the Sunday Sports Zone. Jamal St. Cyr is standing by with a look at what's coming up at 10:30. Good evening, Jamal.
Good evening. You know, we got a packed show tonight. A lot of good stuff. We'll be singing Rain, Rain, Go Away with all the NASCAR fans after weather postponed the Daytona 500. Plus, we'll hear from Billy Donovan after Florida named their court after him on Saturday. And the Florida State basketball team just keeps on winning, and their coach thinks they can play even better. All that's coming up on the Sunday Sports Zone. Plus, we'll take a look at the top high school basketball players from the last 25 years. Janice, back to you.
Thanks, Jamal. And a family is trying to move forward with positive thoughts despite a terrible tragedy. How a father is celebrating his son's 25th birthday after his life was taken far too soon. That story after the break.